Hello guys, and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have you a 3 versus 3 on another D-Day in Paradise, and this is going to be a replay commentary this time round. It's not going to be a live gameplay. I did play this live and I tried to commentate over it, but I kind of messed up halfway through, so I decided to just do a replay commentary of it because it was actually a pretty nice game. I do make a lot of mistakes that I can talk myself through, and you know, it's good information for you guys to see. Like, even when I am making the wrong plays or not playing very well, you know, it's always good to point those things out just so that you can learn from them. And therefore I thought this game would be a great one to showcase. So anyway, I'm going to be playing an Entente deck today. So we are going to be seeing the old proletary spam, which basically was something that I kind of went for, but you'll see that somebody kind of shut me down quite a lot in terms of his play against mine. It was really, really interesting. Anyway, in this game, I wanted to talk mainly about Steel Division. I was at EGX Res this weekend, and I was playing with Eugen and Paradox on Steel Division. I don't know if you guys managed to catch the stream, but I'll leave links in the description. There was 2 games, I think, that I played that were casted. So one was like a live gameplay against Alexis on the first stream on the Friday, and then on the Saturday I played a 2 versus 2, and then they casted that on their stream, on the Paradox stream. So I will send you guys links to those. I'm also thinking about maybe going through the game and sort of talking my way through it, like over their video, because I unfortunately didn't get any footage like from the event. I don't have a capture card, and I don't think I'm allowed to record the game because it's still under NDA basically. But yeah, it was totally awesome, and I can still talk about a lot about what was in the gameplay. Like, there was loads of new battle groups that weren't in the VIP beta. Can't talk about anything from the VIP beta, unfortunately, but all of the new ones that they showcased at EGX Res, they had like a Scottish division, a British division, and like a British armoured division, and then like a Scottish infantry division it was, and then they showed off another German armoured division, I think, and a German infantry division, and it was very, very cool. And I had so much fun playing it. It was great to actually, you know, have a good look at all of the units. I wasn't actually there for a massive amount of time, but it was great to definitely have a look at all of the new stuff that they've brought into the game. And I guess it would be better off if I just made a separate video talking more about what happened in those replays and what it was like from my point of view. Talking over their video maybe. So I was maybe thinking about doing some of that. If you guys would like to see that, then let me know. But in this one, we are going to be looking at my starts. So OTMC M60PBs, those are the recoilless rifle APCs. I started over on the left, all of my units fast moved over onto the right road. These Spatbovs, pretty standard start. They're great against like helicopters basically, and that can be extremely useful. I've got one of these Noahs. These have the very long range anti-air missiles. This is the non-seed variant because it only costs like 5 points more now than the seed variant, and basically it's, well, the radar variant I mean, and I mean, it's got slightly less range, but it's still just so useful to have in the back line, and basically it makes seed redundant throughout the game for the enemy, which is fantastic. So you can kind of cover your back, and I often actually fail at radar management, as we saw in one of my games previously. So having the Noah without the radar is really nice. Either way, got an MI-17 with my command infantry there. You're going to be seeing that command infantry dodging about a bit, but yeah, MI-17 doing great. Spatbov's going to be going over the bridge. I was going to just keep them back here in case like any fast wheeled vehicles came down this road, because I'm using mechanized forces, so they're going to get here before me if they have motorized units, which they most likely will do, because I think one of them was using like a Dutch or like the Dutch-German deck, and they do come with a lot of nice APCs. Either way, big engagement up the top at the start. Some Sokols were shooting at some Zephyr E's. This Zephyr E, I believe, had ammunition left and was trying to get back into range of the Sokols, who were trying to take care of the Shayatet 13 there. So we are playing against Israel as well. CH-53Gs trying to sneak past my recon, but I'm not sure if that had anything in it. Let's just quickly go to the neutral perspective. I don't think it did. I think he used it to land some forces and then sent the empty transport over to see what he could find. So we're going to be shooting that down with the Noah and the Mi-17 there, giving a hand with its machine gun. So as you can see, all of my OT M60PBs have arrived, and I was kind of concentrating on my commentary of the live play that I was talking about. So my micromanagement at the start of this game is a bit off, to say the least. I have this M84 moving up. The great thing about this is it's a 75 point tank with 4 HE power, so it's actually pretty strong, and it can survive like multiple frontal hits from like AT weapons. So Tunguska there taking down that plane. Wonderful job by my teammate, and Popcorn here does a great job in the center, really does. Farasoloni basically unfortunately lost a lot of his infantry at the start of the game in all of the helicopter engagement that went on. So anyway, here we are. We're bumping into Yellow Submarine's Fuchs, and we're going to be engaging him with the OT M60PBs and the Proletari. I am very bunched up at the moment. I'm extremely scared of a bombing strike. So I'm going to start to spread out my forces. The Celtic comes over to take care of my little recon helicopter there that was harassing the AMX prize. Got some recon moving up to the left side. I actually forgot to bring in recon at the start of the game, so I just kind of brought in some afterwards, and that's basically to give my team information of what's coming down this road. But those Senka do bump into some Commando Marines, as you can see, and unfortunately the Senka are going to die very quickly. So I'm going to withdraw my Drug and the Vidras that they came in. Proletari bump into this BGS squad, and I was focusing more on this Fallschirmjäger engagement. So my Proletari here trying to rush up and do a lot of damage to this Fallschirmjäger. The OT M60PBs there with the cannons, the recoilless rifles, really helping us out as well. They do a ton of damage to infantry squads. As soon as they get hit though, that's a problem. So here comes a Lance rocket from that Dutch deck, and it absolutely annihilates my infantry, as you can see. So that's kind of my fault. I shouldn't have had them as bunched up as they were. Obviously I was engaged with the Fallschirmjäger, but that Lance seriously was causing me a lot of issues throughout the game. Especially like when I was getting pushed back quite a bit, they just hit me with some amazing Lance strikes in this game, and it was really hard because I had basically gone through all of my infantry by the end of the game. So my OT tabs here doing a great job at close range to take out the M113s, and VulcanHDGaming now moving up as well. These are sort of special forces going to be bumping into the Commander Marines, going to use the Vidras to help try and clean that up. Got some Pedobranci coming up with the lovely Bombar missile system. They are great sort of short-range Eric's missiles. Got the OT tab. Now engaging the Commander Marines. Commander Marines out of range to use their rockets. They tried to move in range, but unfortunately get mown down by the Pedobranci as they are moving. So they can see these OT M60PBs because of the recon squad that's in this building. I think the BGS was still alive at this point. Yeah. So basically they could see some of my units, and they started to use like mortars, I think it was, to try and dislodge my position there. And my OT tabs engaging the AMX prize here, trying to make that engagement work, bringing up the Pedobranci to back them up. So some Stutruppen coming through and finding a few of my units, and these Tatras had dropped off the VulcanHDGaming and had just been left behind. Here we go, the Pedobranci going to be moving up into this building, and I got control of this compound, which I was very chuffed about. It's great to have these buildings on lockdown sometimes, but I was still scared of like another Lance rocket coming in and hitting me every time. It was really annoying throughout the game. So here you can see I do have an M84AN recon tank, which is very useful for taking out infantry in this location. So I had it across this bridge because it has great line of sight against anything coming down the hill. And also, as you can see, any infantry in the open over there is going to get wrecked. And I also have the Vidras back here being resupplied by this supply vehicle, and the Mi-17 comes over and provides a couple of rocket fire as well. So my M84 over here did provide a lot of damage to the Corpse Marinier on this left side of the forest here. It was here, and it took like 3 rockets to kill, which gave it plenty of time to fire those 4 HE rounds into those squads, and we did manage to kill 1 entire squad with the Proletary, which was fantastic. So Leopard 2A5 moving back into the backside of Gregory, as Popcorn is really starting to put the pressure on, but they have got a lead at the moment in conquest points because of basically them controlling Gregory and us not even contesting it. So some Stutztruppen came over here, and they came straight into this compound, and as I was bringing up loads of reinforcing Proletary, I brought them in squads of 4 just to get them on the map quicker, and they managed to destroy like an entire 3 squads of Proletary and like the OT M60PBs they came in. It was like crazy how quickly they managed to do damage there. And also, like, with them being so bunched up now, it's a big issue. Either way, the Proletary start engaging the Stutztruppen with the tank and the Spatbov support, which was great. I'm starting to dance around with my CV since these AMX Brides had come down here and started to find my command unit. So yeah, just dodging around with the command unit at the moment, trying to get away, keep that quiet, turned off its weapons and so on so that it doesn't get revealed. But as you can see, here comes some reinforcements, and boom, they're dead because of the Lance Strike. Now, I accidentally unloaded the ones on the bridge, and they wouldn't get back into their APC, so it took me ages to get them off the bridge, and because of that, the Lance Strike hit perfectly and did so much damage. So now I have the M84 coming in, and the Vidras from the BVPs with the Malyutka 2T missiles managed to take out the last APC before my CV died. So he's there, 1 man left. I was just rushing over loads of stuff to try and get back. Another missile comes in and does a lot of damage to the Proletary on the ground here that weren't in cover. But all the squads survived, and the OT M60PBs with the infantry in didn't even get damaged, so that was good. It did panic the units inside though. Over here, these M60PBs got a really nice position looking down the road, as you can see. And that means that these Corpse Marinier, when they came out into the open, they did start to do a lot of damage. As soon as they get in range though with those rockets, that's going to be game over. So some Stutztruppen pushing onto my Paderborn. Now I knew that as soon as they revealed the Paderborn again, they would likely try and bomb or rocket it with the Lance, so I decided to take the initiative and push back towards the Stutztruppen. The mortar's coming straight away onto that position, and I was just like, I need to dodge this, so I'm just going to force my way through the Stutztruppen. And as you can see, a Tornado IDS comes in, and this bombs the exact location that my Paderborn were at. Fortunately, not hitting the Specialty Dreadnought as well, so managed to keep them fully alive, and all this artillery and stuff just completely dodged. Was completely dodged by Paderborn, just moving forwards there, taking the initiative. Proletary bumping into the LVTs, so we're just going to continue to push through now. They made their push onto this little sector. I thought, let's take the initiative and push back. In the centre, Popcorn doing a great job now, managed to get a contesting CV into Gregory, and he's got a T-80 covering himself. He's also got the Boratino at the back here. That's going to help him secure this tree line. He's got his recon there and the VDV. This is a really nice sort of setup. If he got a Lance there, that might hurt, but I think the Lance was so focused on my right side that it didn't matter. So Tornado ECR coming in. That didn't make a difference. These NF5Bs, they are napalm planes. They've dropped a lot of napalm onto the bottom side here. I moved my CV out slightly just so that it didn't get hit by that napalm, because if it did, it would have died. I've got some OT Tab 71s coming in with more Paderborn. They are forced to kind of drive through the fire there, because I'd sort of told them to come over to this corner of the sector so that I could push some Paderborn squads all the way around to the bottom side of Eleanor. That's kind of what I was planning to do, but I needed to maintain my presence in the top side as well, so you'll see me to continue to reinforce with these Proletary and OT M60PBs towards Eleanor. So unfortunately I get completely outclassed Proletary, but the great thing is I do have these APCs that do whittle down the squads quite significantly. So you can see they took out like 4 men, and that makes a massive difference for like my proletary like outnumbering the enemy. And if you outnumber them, generally you can do a lot of damage. So some Fallschirmjäger being engaged by my proletary here. We actually are only engaged with 1 squad currently. The second squad wasn't engaged in the firefight, but as soon as they were, we got stunned and that was game over for them. This Mi-17 is being hit by the Kurzmarinere squad that's there. I'm going to try and get that away from that being attacked, because obviously I don't want to lose an Mi-17 for free when it does have those really useful 122mm rockets. Padabranci going to be using its bombard system to take out some APCs as it heads towards the road, and the idea here is to basically cut off any reinforcements that are coming into Elena. So that's what I was really looking to do. So Proletariat now going to engage the PGS squad at Elena, and OT-M60PB going to be trying to take out this Kurzmarinere squad as soon as possible. Got a firing computer reset just at the last moment, but managed to take out the squad, which was really, really good. Means I don't have to worry about that pushing into Anna. So, yeah, things finally quietening down a bit. There was a lot of engagements that I had to keep track of in this game because they were attacking me from all sorts of areas. As you can see, the Fallschirmjäger coming down on my proletary, and then we got some Kurzmarinere trying to take advantage of this compound since all of my infantry and so on have moved past. Some Fuchs here, bringing in some more troops, but they got hit pretty hard by my proletary, as you can see. And since they are panicked, they're actually going to be on the same sort of level as the proletary squad. Got these OT-M60PBs going to engage the Kurzmarinere. Great APCs, just absolutely slamming those squads. Really, really good. So we've got some Padabranci coming up here. They can clean out the rest of this sort of forest area just above Anna. But I've got these Padabranci squads now moving to the right side. These guys bumped into some Kurzmarinere as well. Lance is going to come in and this time hit my command vehicle or command infantry. And that's going to leave us at a +1 for the enemy, even though we've now fully captured Gregory. Like, Popcorn has pushed all the way forwards, managed to take out the command vehicle in Gregory. Really, really good job there. And but unfortunately, because I lost the command vehicle or command infantry in Anna, it meant that we couldn't take advantage of that lead just yet. So I needed to get some more command infantry in, and I actually end up ordering in 2 command infantry just in case they try and lance me again. At least then I sort of have a backup. So we're still doing a lot of damage with the Proletarian Padabranci here. They're sort of killing some reinforcements, which is great, really disrupting the enemy. The OT tabs are still sort of pushing forwards over here and killing off some APCs here and there. My Padabranci are finally getting round into position. Gazelle Cannon here has been moving around to really doing a lot of damage to all of my recon helicopters, which is quite annoying, but the K-52 basically shot that down easily enough. So Padabranci, as you can see, are still engaging these vehicles. So the Hema there was bringing in the Shayatet, and we did manage to blow that up. Padabranci, they're going to get killed by the infantry squad that we weren't engaging. I wasn't micromanaging that, so they picked their own targets and decided to kill the Humvee before the infantry squad. So that's Super Etendard coming in. And also we have the Jaguar A here. But my Newa going to try and get a shot onto that. Jaguar just gets out in time. So I said I was going to talk a bit more about Steel Division. Yeah, Steel Division, it was fantastic. I really love like the new dynamic line system. I also really like a lot of things to do with the game. Just the new like line of sight thing. You can hover over a unit and see what it can see. You know, the things to do with like, instead of there being compounds like this, each unit is like a separate entity, and you can have like infantry in each one. It's really, really good. Like just all these little like quality of life changes as well. Like the fact that you can add orders to troops before they leave the deployment. And that's really, really, really useful as well, especially for people who are not so micro-intensive, like people who struggle to give out orders quickly, a lot like I do. Like, I think in Wargame what really lets me down is not my strategy all the time, it's just necessary, it's more my micro ability. And It comes with practice, obviously, but I would much rather be able to just focus on the tactics, and that's what I love about Steel Division, and that's really what Eugen's tried to go for, and I think they've hit the nail on the head really with that. It's been really, really awesome to play it with them, so that was such a great experience. And there was also a video of me getting interviewed, actually, briefly, by Anders from Paradox, and I'll also link that in the description if you guys want to check it out. It is on my Facebook page as well, so yeah, make sure you go and follow that. Either way, as you can see, Proletariat is still pushing forwards, now bumping into both Israeli and the Dutch troops. Quite an odd combination, Dutch and Israeli, but there we go. Proletariat winning the day. Proletariat 90 now. I had run out of standard Proletariat, so I was starting to bring in Proletariat 90. Proletariat 90 are just great for this sort of position where they're by the road, because the Proletariat have the really great AT weapon. This thing has like 24 AP power and 20 rounds per minute, and on like the edge of a road here, they're great for ambushing because they will destroy those APCs very quickly and in one shot. So on this right side, I brought in a couple of recon helicopters just to make sure nothing funky happens later in the game. I've now captured Anabak, obviously, and I do have my 2 command infantry squads here, so we are at a +1 lead thanks to Popcorn making a ton of ground in the centre. I've also brought over my own Vihor to help out here. Mi-17 is hovering over here to cover with some rocket fire, and I've got my OT tabs coming in to finish the Stutztruppen who are engaged with my Proletariat, so I managed to get rid of them. So the Vihor going to be engaging a Leopard 2A4. And we did manage to pop that with a second shot. I think earlier in the game, there was a Makava here, 3B. I think I actually managed to destroy it with my Galeb, which was really, really good. But now I'm going to be pushing in on the right side here at Elena with these Padabranci straight into this compound. There was only a recon squad defending that. And then what I ended up seeing is just like loads of APCs that had dropped off anti-air infantry. So these are a couple of Fliegerfaust and a couple of like M113s that they came in. So we managed to dispatch all of these squads very, very quickly. Fliegerfaust and like infrared AA infantry is great until it bumps into real infantry. And then it just gets slaughtered. But no, in this position, like, it's actually a good choice to have like infrared AA, because if you brought in helicopters over these tree lines, sometimes they can be really annoying to like shoot down because you don't have line of sight from like missiles of like vehicles and so on. So having like an infantry squad that can actually move through the forest relatively easy and then shoot up at the helicopters is very good. Also from these sort of compound areas, it's quite nice as well because they're pretty well defended. So just try and take out this Mankati before they get it away so they can't resupply any of their troops. And the Padabranci here going to be engaging the Fallschirmjäger. So what I really liked about this team, specifically, like Popcorn and Farah, they both communicated really well, and I expect the enemy team did too, because, like I said, everybody in this game was about a 50-60% win rate, if not more. So it was really, really good fun. It was a very nice challenge and a very nice balanced game. And yeah, I had a big struggle on this right side trying to keep up with my infantry and so on because of all of the lance hits, like all of the corpsman in the air that just completely outclassed Proletariat. So I had to be really careful about that. And now you can see Padabranci moving in to engage Givati. Now with these infantry squads, they're both so far apart. So there is 2 squads here, but only one is engaged. This is something that I would say that people need to worry about quite a lot. It's better sometimes to split your infantry units and have them move in a line together as opposed to like in squads of 2 sometimes, because they end up like lagging behind each other and then only one squad actually engages at a time, and then you'll see that like your squad lose even though you technically have more men, and it can be really like annoying sometimes. Anyway, some artillery coming in straight on top of my Padabranci. It is going to stun and panic my Padabranci, but they have already done the job onto that enemy infantry. And over here, you can see that we are still making ground. The Spetsnaz Gru engaging the Panzer Grenadiers with their Dragunov SVDs, no chance there. My Weihawk got pretty low over on the middle here, and I needed to get that repaired as soon as possible, so it looks like Popcorn's going to try and sort that out for me, which is great. Got my reinforcing infantry in place, and what I'm going to do is get these OTM 60PBs, just move over towards this road and join my Padabranci so that we can cut off the reinforcements. And Farah's already got some Yakari here, which is great for that purpose. He was playing a Baltic deck, so that's why he has those troops. Here we bump into the Hammer, and the OT tabs just quickly dispatch that with the Padabranci. Now they're bringing over some Mankatis to reinforce their right side, because I left a lot of their Fallschirmjägers pretty low on health after the engagement with my Padabranci and their Korpsmarinier. They're trying to resupply the Korpsmarinier, because obviously I don't want them to be like low squads. But they ended up just handing us these Mankatis, which were fantastic for me to resupply my Padabranci. And so I was like, put a help marker here just to notify Farah that we had captured those, and he can get them into a great position to resupply his own men and mine too. So that's what I wanted to do here, and he also moved up the XAs to capture the other one, which was a really good job. So now an NF5B coming in with the 5 napalm bombs. It's going to get hit hard by some AA, but that landed directly on top of my Padabranci squads, and I was like, god damn, I'm going to lose those Padabranci, because they were very low on health, but fortunately, a couple of them are very fast runners, and managed to just get out of there alive. I think both squads just survived. There's like 2 men in the napalm at the moment. Okay, 1 left, and then like all of a sudden, just like a hero out of the smoke, he appears, and he is alive. This chap here manages to get out of that napalm and keep the squad alive. What a hero. Over on this left side, Farah being hit very, very hard. He was holding his line very, very well. Like, especially we'd made so much ground in the center that this was starting to affect the other sides of the map. So for example, because Popcorn was so far up, he managed to allow Farah to get some infantry towards these bridges, which gives us basically all of the space we need to block any reinforcements to Eleanor, unless they have obviously amphibious units. So now you can see the Padabranci are going to be fixed up. Leclerc on the left going to get sniped by Asteria 30. Good stuff. And now I'm just going to start pushing on Eleanor very hard. I've got one of the infantry command units from Anna to start running towards Eleanor, because I know I'm going to hit this hard shortly, and as soon as we take out Eleanor, I want to recapture it in order to basically put us at possibly a +5 if I can find the enemy in command. So Fallschirmjäger, these are still depleted after they didn't receive their supply, so they're sitting there on 1 health, and I do have the OT M60PB coming up here, which is going to use its recoilless rifles to finish off that squad. So moving into Eleanor now from both sides. Proletari moving down through these compounds. We've got Proletari moving up from here, and as you can see, I have just bumped into the enemy command vehicle, and that's going to allow us to go to a +3 lead once I neutralize Eleanor. Over on the left, we are seeing the attack of 4 heavy tanks. I believe at this point in the game, they kind of just decided to throw all they had at us. So there was a Merkava 3B and 3 Merkava 2Bs, which was pretty crazy. So Popcorn's going to be coming in here with an SU-27M with those TV guidance missiles, but the Mirage actually manages to shoot it down before it manages to hit the enemy tanks. So all of the tanks are still alive at the moment. This SU-22M4P takes care of any radar that would have been there until, well, gets shot down by lots of infrared AA. But here I come in with L19 just to make sure that I'm not, shot down by any planes. And my Super Glebs come in. We managed to take out, I think, 2 of those tanks, the Merkava 3B and one of the Merkava 2Bs with the Super Glebs. And just like that, the chap surrenders. Losing those tanks is horrific at this point in the game, and obviously we've just taken control of Eleanor completely with me moving in this command infantry. So that is the end of the game, since all of the enemy surrender, and it was a very, very nice sort of sequential game where the entire line just continued throughout the game. It was very, very nice. I really enjoyed this one, and it was, you know, not too far off in terms of kills and losses. So myself, I got 2,240 kills to 1,495 losses. Popcorn did a fantastic job in the center, 2,290 kills to 1,075 losses. And Farah, unfortunately at the beginning, I think like that really affected his losses. He lost so much infantry that came in helicopters at the start. It really set him back, but did a great job of actually holding off on that left side after that terrible start. I also did pretty bad with those lance strikes, not spreading out my infantry enough. That really hit me hard sometimes. If we go down here, you'll see like this lance, how many like OTM 60 PBs it killed, and the proletarians as well. It was pretty crazy. Really hurt me throughout the game. There's like multiple kills from those lances onto my infantry, which often I run out of on this deck, so I was quite worried about that, but fortunately managed to hold on. Ended up using every single infantry on my deck to win the game. So there we go. If you just look at these profiles, you can see that Yellow Submarine was actually 70% win rate. We had 53%, 55%. It was pretty even. I'm like 59, 54, and then a 64. So yeah, I made sure the teams were pretty balanced, and that's why this was such a good game. And I really enjoyed playing it. And everybody who was in the game was incredibly nice. So that was great as well. So shout out to all of the chaps who played with me in this one. But there we have it. That has been that replay. Make sure you guys check out the links to all of the Steel Division content in the description. Unfortunately, like I said, don't have any footage from the EGX res myself because I couldn't record while I was there. But either way, that's all for now. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.